Are you enjoying the game today too? Ready to level up your knowledge? Welcome back to the Depth Dive, where we take the sources you share with us and turn them into insights you won't forget.
Today, we are strapping in for, let's just say, a deeply traumatic journey into Famicom history. We are deep diving into Transformers, Convoy no Natsu, a true legend.
Okay, let's unpack this infamous monster. This game dropped on December 5th, 1986, and here's a critical piece of context. This was Takara's very first title for the Famicom.
Their debut. Imagine your first game being this.
Right. It was an immediate cultural moment, but not because it was good.
No, because it was a disaster. It wasn't just, a simple tie-in to the Transformers franchise. It immediately earned its reputation as a legendary kusoge.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, literally translates to crap game.
Exactly. It's known for a difficulty that didn't challenge you, it just punished you. I mean, it created genuine childhood trauma, especially for the kids Takara was targeting.
And our mission today isn't just to complain about how hard it is. We all know that part. We need to figure out what the actual mystery of Convoy was, how the game completely failed to solve it, and why this frustrating relic became one of the most significant, terrible games ever made.
Right, and before we jump into the rules of pain, a quick note on the title. If you had the physical box, you might have seen the typo. Mystery of Convoy.
Ah, Convoy, a classic.
The correct name is, of course, Mystery of Convoy, which usually gets translated overseas as Mystery of Optimus Prime.
Speaking of Convoy, let's get the basic overview. This is an action shooter, and you control Ultra Magnus, city commander of the Cybertrons. The job seems simple. Guide him through 10 stages to beat the Decepticons.
But the setting is where it starts to get complicated. The game is explicitly set across 3 different eras, and Ultra Magnus travels between them using time tunnels.
So we're talking about the original cartoon series?
Yep, fight. Super robot lifeform Transformers. Yeah. Then it jumps into the Transformers, the movie period, and finally into the sequel series, Transformers 2010.
So the manual sets up the story. Convoy is severely injured fighting the Decepticons. He makes Ultra Magnus the new commander, gives him the Matrix, and your job is to restore peace. It sounds pretty standard.
It does, but the whole mystery part of the title hinges on this incredible marketing misfire.
Right. This is where it gets really interesting, especially if you weren't in Japan at the time.
Exactly. So the key plot point, Convoy dying in the movie, was known to a lot of the world. But the movie itself had not been released in Japanese theaters when the sequel series, 2010, started airing.
So wait, imagine you're a kid. You turn on the TV to watch the new Transformers show, and suddenly Rodimus Convoy is the new leader.
And you have absolutely no context. You don't know who killed Convoy, how he died, or who this new guy is. It was a genuine narrative crisis for Japanese fans.
So Takara saw this gap and rushed the game out.
And they sold it with this huge campaign. Solve the mystery of Convoy's death with your own hands. They were trying to use this video game to bridge that massive story gap before the movie came out.
So this game promised answers. But first, it made you suffer. Let's get into the core mechanics.
The main mechanic, transformation, is actually one of the few things the game gets right, at least in concept. You have 2 modes. First is robot mode.
Right, you can jump, you can shoot straight forward, standard stuff.
And then there's the vehicle mode, the trailer. Its posture is low, which is actually really useful for dodging some things, but you can't jump.
And the shooting in that mode is tricky.
It's notoriously difficult. You can't shoot forward. Your shots either go straight up or they fire in this weird parabolic arc down toward the ground. You have to constantly guess where the shot will land.
So you're forced to keep transforming back and forth just to hit anything.
Exactly. But all of that is completely overshadowed by, let's call it the brutal rule.
Instant death.
Instant death. Touch any enemy or any enemy bullet and you're done. No health bar, no second chances, 1 hit.
And if that wasn't bad enough, they combined it with basically invisible bullets.
That's the core design flaw, the unfairness of it all. The enemy shots are tiny, like 2x2 pixels, and they blend right into the background, especially in stage 1. It created the why did I die problem. You just die, and you have no idea why.
The item system just feels like they're messing with you at that point. You get power-ups from Energon cubes after you beat a Skywarp.
You get the usual stuff. P for 2-way shot, F for flight, 1 for an extra life, and the most important one, B for barrier, which protects you from 3 hits.
That barrier is the only thing keeping you alive. But here is the magnificent irony, the part where you realize the game is actively sabotaging you.
All of the good items, P, B, F, and 1, you can destroy them.
With your own bullets.
With your own bullets. If you're not careful, you can shoot your own power-ups right out of the sky.
So you're telling me I can accidentally shoot my own extra life?
Yes. And you have to be careful, because if you're holding down the fire button, you will absolutely destroy the items you desperately need.
But the D cube, the power down one.
Oh, that one's indestructible. You can't shoot that one. It's immune.
That's just insane. It's like the game is designed to punish you for playing it.
And beyond just trying to survive, you had this other goal tied to the mystery. You had to collect 7 hidden red cubes, spelling out Rodimus.
Right, and if you got all 7 letters and bit the game, you'd unlock Rodimus Convoy for the next loop. His stats were the same, but that was supposed to be the answer.
Which brings us to the difficulty. The stuff of legend. You hear these stories like, I died 2 seconds after starting, and honestly...
It's believable. The Jetrons in Stage 1 make it believable.
They fly in this smooth arc, and you shoot them once, and they transform into their little robot mode on the ground.
And the second they transform, they're too short for your gun to hit them.
Right, so you either get a perfect shot while they're flying, or you have this tiny, invincible enemy rushing you for an instant kill. It's an exercise in pure frustration.
But even that is nothing compared to the real Mindbreaker. The level that ended more childhoods than anything else. Stage 9, the Underground Machine City.
The maze stage.
Yeah.
It's just a nightmare. It has 6 consecutive points where you have to choose one of 3 different paths.
With 0 in-game hints. None. You just have to guess.
Which means it's 3 to the power of 6. That's 729 possible routes.
It was basically impossible without a guide from a magazine. It completely broke the contract with the player.
Exactly. This is why the game is called a masochistic game. It's not just badly made like a kusoge, it's designed to be brutally, unfairly punishing.
And then, after all that, the bosses are a complete joke.
It's the strangest thing. You fight through hell, and the bosses are either static or they just move back and forth really slowly.
You fight these huge characters like Minosaur and Megatron, and the fights are just anticlimactic.
Their patterns are simple, their weak spots are usually the same. It just feels like busy work after the nightmare of the stage itself.
And even in the boss fights, the design is out to get you. From stage 3 on, you're on these little lifting platforms.
And you can destroy the platforms with your own bullets. So if you're just firing away at the boss, you can shoot out your own footing and make it impossible to even hit him.
It's just so consistent in its commitment to player sabotage.
Beyond the difficulty, there were just so many technical shortcomings that felt less like a challenge and more like, laziness.
The stage repetition was a big one. Stages 3 and 6 are the same. 8 and 10 are the same. They just flip them.
They used the time tunnel thing as an excuse, but it just felt like they were recycling assets to save time.
And the music certainly didn't help. It's just one short BGM for the main stages.
The intense red and blue strobing when you start a stage or beat a boss, it was so bad they had to fix it for the Wii Virtual Console release.
I remember that. Takara themselves questioned the all ages rating, basically telling people, don't assume you'll be better at this as an adult, you'll just get traumatized again.
It's a remarkable admission from the company itself.
So let's quickly recap the cast. Ultra Magnus is the hero, Convoy is just a head in the background.
And Rodimus Convoy, the secret character, drew so much criticism because his sprite was just a lazy recolor of Ultra Magnus's. Another shortcut.
The enemies are a weird mix of actual Destrons and these original mechanical life forms that make no sense, and then the final boss is Dinzer in Stage 10.
So, back to the core mystery. Did the game solve it?
Not at all. The whole campaign failed. The game was delayed, so 2010 had already been on TV and shown Rodimus Convoy. The mystery was spoiled.
And the in-game answer was pathetic. The secret ending just showed a big picture of Megatron. It didn't explain him turning into Galvatron or anything from the movie.
And narratively, it's a mess. Ultra Magnus was in the movie. He already knew Megatron killed Convoy. The whole premise of his quest is illogical.
So it was a failure on every level. Marketing, narrative, everything.
But here is the beautiful paradox. Despite being a legendary kusoge, the game has this strange, affectionate legacy. People call it Convoy's Maso.
The irony is, if you look past the impossible difficulty, there's some good ideas. The transformation mechanic is clever, the controls are actually responsive, there was effort there.
It was just buried under a mountain of bad design choices.
But the story gets even weirder. Over 20 years later, in 2009, Takara released the Alternity Toy series and officially retconned the game.
You're kidding.
Not at all. They turned the trauma into lore. The game itself was officially declared to be the result of a multidimensional war between alternate reality Megatrons and Convoys.
So the game being broken wasn't bad programming.
No, it was a conscious choice by cosmic forces. Ultra Magnus was chosen to fight through a death and suffering-filled game to test the possibility of Cybertronian victory across parallel universes.
So the invisible bullets and the 729 route maze.
Interdimensional sabotage by evil Megatrons, literally.
That is the single greatest piece of corporate lore I have ever heard to justify a bad game.
It just shows how legendary its difficulty became. They had to give it a canonical explanation. And of course, the game is still a running joke. The Q Transformers anime in 2014 constantly made fun of it.
So in the end, Ultra Magnus's quest failed to solve the mystery at the time, but its sheer unfair difficulty is what we remember. It turned all that childhood frustration into this weird, nostalgic admiration.
It makes you think about solving a mystery. The real answer, that Megatron killed Convoy, was way less interesting than the traumatic journey the game forced on everyone. The difficulty became the story.
So is the real mystery of Convoy no Nazo just? How so many of us bought it and suffered through it, only to be told decades later that our suffering was canonically necessary for the fate of the multiverse?
That is the only logical conclusion.
Will the game be fun tomorrow, too? Have a nice game.